There I am. Alright. Click this camera over, turn this one on. Think we're good to go. Alright. I can see comments. So that's good. Sometimes it takes me a minute to get there, but we always get there. How's everybody doing tonight? What you got going on? What's everybody up to on, what's today, Tuesday? It is Tuesday, right? I spend most of my time in my basement, so I don't know what day it is most of the time. That's about how I go about reality. One day is the same as the next in my world, for the most part. So I know it's a weekday. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. I know it's a weekday because my kid went to school. So I'll know it's the weekend when my kid stays home. Or when I don't have to get up to take my kid to school. Ow. My nose is itchy. My nose is itchy. Alright. So, for anyone hanging out, my name's Sean. I run mailworks.com. I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories, and I make chainmail. And I've been doing it for a really long time, and I'm really old. You'd be like, oh, but you don't look really old. Well, I feel really old. Mileage will get to you. So, I make all kinds of stuff out of chainmail. For example, let me fix this ring here. This piece right here, it's supposed to look like my logo right up there. Right? It's supposed to look like my logo right there. For anyone watching over on any of the main channels. Right? I need to get a larger inner ring here. Right? These two, what are they? 2-inch craft rings. I need like a 2.5. I'm measuring. This is a craft board. Thank you for the carrot. Jalapeno. What is that? A pepper? Thank you for the pepper. So when I go like this, there's measurements on the board. That's what I'm doing. I'm not a crazy person. Right now, I recently had a video go viral with this cube on it. It's a good cube. There's like 14,000 rings in this cube. It's very jiggly. It's very jelly. Vanilla Giraffe, what are you doing tonight? This is the same weave as this, but I'm making each ring out of much smaller rings. Here, let me switch camera angles on here. Yeah. So we are over the 2x2 cube size, and we're moving on to a 3x3. Right? That's 21. That's 26. I need 95 rings total, and I've got 26 made. So what is that? 69 rings left to make? Right on, 69. I am a 14-year-old man-child. All right. So this weave is called Sandwyrm, hence the title of the video. What I call it? Sandwyrm Ringception Meta Cube. Normally it would be a jelly cube, but since this is a Ringception piece, it's very, very meta, where I used rings to make rings, and I shared the live video. I don't know why it does that. I get a notification that I shared the live video. I was like, I'm just sitting here. I'm just chilling. I already shared it. Anyway. Alright, so yeah, that's what I'm working on. How's everybody doing? Got any questions? Keeping up so far? So yeah, I need to... This weave is called Sandwyrm, and what it is a chain of full Persian, right? And on the outside of full Persian is box weave. So I'll give you a close-up of that. Inside each of these rings I've made is a full Persian chain surrounded with box weave wrapped around the outer edge. Kind of cool. Not what I was going for when I started, but I did not intend to make this project, but I started working on it and it was working out so well, I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm doing this now. I have other projects I should be working on, but it is what it is. We'll get to them at some point. So, it was a very nice day yesterday during the eclipse and today. And so I need to finish the second saddlebag I've been covering in chainmail, because the first one's done, and I need to get those back on the bike. Because once that's done, the rest of the bike project is... I don't need to have parts of the bike down here in the basement for it. You know what I mean? I've got Road King. I've wrapped one saddlebag in chainmail. The other is half wrapped in chainmail. I'm going to finish that up here pretty soon. And then make a leather bib with chainmail over the top for the gas tank. And then wrap the toolkit in chainmail as well. And then next year, I'm hoping to have the front and rear fenders, the gas tank, and the side panels all hydro dipped in a chainmail pattern I'll make on the computer. So that'll be a cool project. And then once I'm done with all the aesthetic work on the bike, I want to do like a chain conversion, add a turbo, upgrade the motor, put dual front disc brakes on it, stage 4 the motor. I watched a video recently where some guy went over all the different stages of Harleys, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4, and like, it was informative, you know. I couldn't reiterate what those stages are, but like the first one is get more air into the engine and get a bigger, louder exhaust to send more air out of it, right? So that adds a little power, and after that, you start tearing apart the engine and adding fun components to it and boring it out and making it bigger, adding different cams to it, and that's a lot of money. But it's like, I got one motorcycle, I'm just gonna, any extra money I have is gonna just go into the bike to make it ridiculously cool looking and ridiculously fast. So, but I got a lot of work to do on the bike still. The speedometer on my motorcycle is on a raised portion of the gas tank, so I got to figure out how to put a leather bib over the top of it, and then add chainmail to the top of it, and make it all look good. So that's gonna be fun. But I've got that project going on. I got my Finnegan's Wake flag. I got the rings in for it. And so I'm going, here's my goal, right? I started this project because I had a bunch of these 16 gauge 3/8 rings just lying around, and I had ordered them as well as a lot of other rings with no plan on what to do with them. So they were just here, taking up space in my basement, and that's probably the bigger aspect of all the projects I'm working on right now. I'm trying to get rid of all the old stuff I worked on so that I can make room for new projects, right? So I was sitting around and I had run out of rings for the Finnegan's Wake flag. I was like, all right, what am I going to do with these 16 gauge 3/8 rings? And I decided I wanted to make a dragon scale pine cone, which is a little chainmail pine cone thing, and it's pretty cool. But I picked out this weave Sandwyrm because I knew this ring size could make this weave, and I remembered it being fairly rigid. I was like, okay, well, this will be cool. But then I make a little bit of it, and I find out it's much more flexible than I remember. So I formed it into essentially the smallest ring possible. Each of these rings is 22 units around. And so, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. I could have gone 21 to make it a little tighter, but for this cube, 22 is looking like the right size. The right aspect ratio. So I started putting the one chain of Sandwyrm together, and it was not as rigid as I thought, and so I was like, all right, well, it's not going to work for the dragon scale pine cone. I need to figure out something else to do with it. And so I started making a few more rings and putting them together. I was like, oh, this would be a good ring size for a cube, because I just made, I added thousands of rings to this cube. I made a 12 by 12 by 12 row cube in this ring size. These are two vastly different ring sizes, but they're both the appropriate size for a cube. And I was looking at this, I was like, why don't I just make a giant cube out of all of these extra rings I have laying around? And I did the math, and I had enough rings to make a 2 by 2 cube, right? This is a 14 by 14 by 14 row cube. This is, if you remove these 5 rings up at the top, this would have been a 2 by 2 cube. And I was like, that's not big enough. I need to make it a little bigger, right? So a 2 by 2 cube had like 3,600 rings in it, and the 3 by 3 row cube that I'm working on now has 16,700 rings in it, and that's all I could order. That's all my supplier had available. So I went back to their website trying to order enough for at least a 4 by 4 by 4 cube. I don't remember how many rings that was, but I don't like even numbered cubes for some reason. Like if I make a cube, it's a 3 by 3 or a 5 by 5 or 7 by 7. 4, 6, and 8 row cubes are not my style. I don't know why. There's no reason for that. So I thought, hey, if I'm going to do this right, I should order rings for a 5 by 5 by 5 cube. Okay. And I did the math on that, and it came out to some 96,000 rings that I would have to put together. Which, fine, I don't have a problem doing that. It would take a really long time. And I would have to make 549 individual rings. Which, again, fine. I don't mind. But it's, yeah. That would be a lot of work. So I'm going to keep my eye out on the Ring Lord, who I got these rings from, and who I ordered more rings from. See if they restock anytime soon, and if I can make this a ridiculously large 5 by 5 by 5 cube, I will. But that is very expensive. It's about $2,000 in materials. I probably have, between what I've ordered and what I already have, I probably have somewhere between $350 and $400 in materials. So a vanity project like that, where I'm just showing off, I probably shouldn't spend money on, but I don't know. If I can do it, why wouldn't I? haven't gone bankrupt yet with my bad financial decisions. All right, knock on wood. So anyway, so who's watching? Who's hanging out tonight? Where are you guys from? I've been living in Wisconsin for about the last 9 years now, and don't recommend it. I wouldn't move here again, but I'm here, and I'm probably not going to move if I don't have to ever again. I did a lot of moving when I was in the military, and then moving across the country. We moved up here from Texas. Yeah, that was brutal. But we got it done, and we've been here for 9 years now. You're the east coast of Canada? Nice. How you doing, Chain and Scale? I like your work. If you're not following Chain and Scale, you should go check them out. If you're interested in following more chainmail creators, you can follow them. Do you do custom work and take requests and stuff like that? Or are you like me, where you just make whatever you want? Because I know a lot of chainmail artists, like, that's their bread and butter. They make stuff for sale. I don't do that. Thanks, man. You appreciate it. You've been good? Good, good. Yes, I live to promote chainmail and those who create it. And you think, oh, what a nice altruistic thing to do, Sean. You're such a good guy. No, I have a hidden agenda. I want chainmail to be as widely done as, say, knitting or crocheting or sewing. Hang on. Oh, man. Yeah, you make lots of customs, but you make a lot of things you want to stock conventions. There you go. All right, so if you're interested in getting some chainmail made, go check out Chain and Scale. They have stock, and they take custom requests. How many hours into a piece this detailed? Okay, so each ring is taking me about an hour and a half. There's 26 rings right now, and there's going to be 95 when I'm done. So we're talking like 150 hours, 140, 150 hours. 1.5 times 95. I don't know how to do math. I think that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 21. Oh, hey, perfect. So, yeah. 140 hours for this 3x3 Metacube. This has 14,000 rings in it, and it's going to have, it has 100 hours in it. Pretty sure. I can do about 200 rings an hour on this, and these rings are only 176 rings, but they're taking me forever, so I don't know what's going on. Craftsmanship design is excellent. Chaos and Chains, how is it going? Craftsmanship and design is excellent. Thank you. Thank you. This is actually I've done a couple other sculptural pieces. And I was going to largely put off making the sculptural pieces I want to make until next year. But then this kind of, I didn't know what else to do with these rings. And so I started making this. But it's the first sculptural piece that'll be up for sale. At some point, if I ever finish it. All right, where was I? I was saying something about... Oh, my altruistic, my seemingly altruistic goal of making chainmail is widely made as... have a good night, Chain and Scale. Thanks for stopping by. To get chainmail is widely made as sewing and knitting and crocheting and all that fun stuff, right? It's because I design and sell chainmail apparel and accessories. And so I want people to make chainmail and then go, oh, heck yeah, I want to wear clothes with chainmail prints on them. That'd be awesome. And then they buy my stuff. So I'm not quite an evil villain, but... possible, or is it impossible to make a skull? I'm going to go with it's possible. I wouldn't have the first clue as to going about doing it, but yeah, it's not impossible. I would say it's going to take a pretty skilled chainmail artist to make a decent looking skull. Which, that is not me. I am okay at this. But I have done inlays of like skull and crossbones, stuff like that. Every Gmail piece has not been made. Anything is possible. There you go. Yeah, someone would be able to figure out a skull. I'd probably do like a solid skull and then attrition the edges to the, like, okay, I would start out with a block like this. I would use a different weave than this, maybe this, and then I would start and just do attrition around the edges, just removal until I got like the shape I wanted, and then refine it from there. I don't know if that's the right way to go about doing it, but it'd be interesting to see. The sculptures I have in mind are much more abstract than many of the chainmail sculptures that are available out there. Like, I got a friend, she makes ducks. They're very cool ducks. I need to buy one from her. This jelly cube, these things are awesome. Just a fun fidget toy. And you'd think like the larger you make it, the less fun it would be. No, that's not the case. Just, it's this exponential growth of the cube and of the fun you have with it. It's amazing. Have I done gloves? No. I have a glove. It was my uncle's father's butcher glove. And butcher gloves are fairly cheap. You can get them at Walmart and stuff. But gloves are... like, if you are... see here. I don't know what the freaking armor piece is called. Not the clam shells, but a gauntlet. Like an armored gauntlet. Right? If you have one of those, I'm good enough to craft a chainmail palm for it. But to do, or like, you know, just the underside of the fingers. But to do a whole glove, I've never tried it. Will it go downstairs like a slinky? Maybe. I haven't tried that yet. I'm going to go with yes. I imagine the larger I make it, the more readily it will go downstairs like a slinky. I'll have to... I don't know if I want to send... so, okay, so this is like 5 or 6 pounds now. And this will go down the stairs. Probably a lot more like a brick. And when I'm done with it, it's going to weigh around 21, 22 pounds, something like that. If I did my math right. So, I'll have to test if this goes down the stairs like a slinky. And then throw this one down the stairs as well. We'll see what happens. Will you go downstairs like a slinky? Will it go down? Okay. Did I ever take what thought and consideration? Sorry, I'm not following. How you doing, King Corey? Thanks for stopping by. All right. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Follows, likes, and shares help me out the most. Not gonna lie. Trying to get to 10,000 followers. Well, I mean, I would love to have 20 million followers. But at the rate I'm going, it will take me a while to get to 20 million, so I'll settle for 10,000 first. And I'm 2,800 away, 2,900 away, something like that. So a lot closer than I thought I'd be this when I started this goal back in October. So please, like, follow, and share. It's much appreciated. Comment too. Tell me your favorite color. Which Autobot is your favorite? Did you know that Megatron was like a freedom fighter on his home planet? And that Prime was the oppressor? Optimus Prime was the bad guy? According to someone on TikTok, which I'm sure is a reliable source. But they did seem much more knowledgeable about it than me. Apparently, Megatron was a slave back on Cybertron. Anyway, what gauge wire do I work with? Anything... The largest gauge wire I've worked with is 12 gauge, and the smallest is 22. Thank you for the dinos. Black, purple, dark burgundy, red, and dark silver. Right on. Those are good colors. Those colors would go really well together in a lot of ways. Yeah. Alright. So, I spent the day working on this. I was supposed to send someone some pictures, and I completely forgot about it. Hopefully they forgive me. Yeah. Those are actually your wedding colors? Right on. Those are good colors. What is the piece that's round with the black stuff in it? What are you looking? Oh, this? By the power of Grayskull. So I was trying to duplicate my logo up here, and I think that my center rings are too small, and I did not want to add this outside full Persian chain, but it did pull everything tight. So it's supposed to be that. It's close. It's the third iteration of this piece. I want to try and get some bigger craft rings for the center here. Oh, dark royal purple. Very nice, very nice. It's all the sculptural pieces I've done, including this one, are like practice pieces for the stuff I want to make coming up. Right? That's cool. Thank you. It came out pretty good. I'm hoping... I don't know. I don't want to work on it anymore. I'm not lying. I want to leave it alone, but it's not quite right, and so until it is, it's going to bother me. So I want to try one last attempt at making it look right. But yeah, these are all practice pieces for what I have planned in the future, which are big abstract sculptural pieces. So all of these rings are mass produced by the Ring Lord. I'm gonna sneeze in it again. Hey Rat, how you doing? But essentially, if you have any type of rod, whether it's, you know, I don't recommend rod iron, but you know, the steel rods you can get from Lowe's, those will work. You coil up a wire on it to make it look like a spring, and then you can clip your rings out one by one. I don't have a coiling and cutting setup right now. I hope to have one by the end of the year. And there's a million tutorials on YouTube of how to make your own rings at home. You can make them from pretty much any wire, right? Yeetus, how you doing? Astrid, what's going on? You're all right, just cleaning? Right on, right on. So if you're looking for supplies, my first inclination is to recommend a kit from one of the main suppliers, one of the big suppliers. What do you look up on YouTube? How to make chainmail rings, or how to make rings for chainmail. Doing all right making another dice bag? Because you can make them at home. If you got like a brass coat hanger or some wire laying around, you just wrap it around. Depending on if you got, you know, the wire's got to be somewhat tough. I don't recommend like speaker wire or something. But this art very much traces back to medieval times. See here, chainmail was an expensive kind of armor that lasted from, what do you call it, the early medieval period till firearms began being manufactured. Yeah, mini bolt cutters work great. Like this. Then I've used these to cut rings. I've used fingernail clippers to cut rings. So, Astrid uses end cutters if she's cutting galvanized steel. That's a thing too. You can go to Lowe's and get a rod from their hardware section, or Home Depot or wherever, and get, you know, a 3-foot rod of steel, and you can use that to wrap your wire around. You can get aluminum wire at Home Depot or Lowe's or Menards or wherever, and then some bolt cutters or some snips or some nippers, and you can make your own rings at home, right? But that's a very laborious. You could use a wooden dowel from Joann's, but depending on the wire gauge, the wire could rip the dowel apart. But you can definitely start there if you have some softer metal to work with. Use the score and break method. Right on. From the Bronze Age, yeah. So, this is my understanding of the history of chainmail, right? The first known piece of the predecessor to chainmail came from the Etruscans around Tuscany, Italy. And pre-cut rings are anywhere from $3 to $7 an ounce, depending on the material. Stuff like niobium and sterling silver and gold are going to be much more expensive. But, I mean, I can give you a breakdown of how I think, or how I recommend people get started in this if you want. And I don't recommend starting by making your own rings. I got started that way, and it delayed my, let's see here, skill development, shall we say, for a long time. So the first thing I would do is I would go to my Linktree and download the Mailworks app. It's available on Apple and Google, and it's got all the resources I would have wanted in there when I first got started making chainmail a long time ago. Right? Go through the resources. You'll find where to find tutorials, where to find suppliers, where to find people who make chainmail and where they hang out online. There's an artist section and a bunch of tools. And I'm just going to keep adding to this app for as long as I can, right? Then I would go to the supplier section, and a lot of the suppliers have kits. And you can go to like Metal Designs or We've Got Mail. Get yourself a little Byzantine chainmail kit. Or if you want more of an option, more of a selection, Chainmail Joe has a really nice kit that I don't need in any way. I just want one for the box and for the booklet, and because it's pretty, and to be able to show people, look at this Chainmail Joe box. You should get this, right? I need to ask them for a discount code. I do. And then I need to ask them, or I need to get a box from them. And I think they have a bright aluminum kit with a lot of different ring sizes and a lot of tutorials to choose from. A lot of options to make with those ring sizes. And I believe they have an anodized aluminum kit as well, but I'm not sure. They also have the option to purchase pliers from them at the same time. But that's a pretty big kit, and I think it's $100 some odd. And you can get it from their website or off of Amazon. So that's a good kit to start with. It'll definitely help with the learning curve. And the learning curve of chainmail it's really steep when you're first starting out, right? It's like, you know, steep. Okay? But after you do it for a month, 6 weeks, a couple of days, that learning, what do you call it? That learning curve, that's what I'm looking for, kind of plateaus. And, you know, you've got like the basics down, and now it's just adding how many weaves do you want to learn, what projects you want to make. And until you get stupid enough to do shit like this for no reason. Things that nobody asks you to do. You're absolutely welcome. It's what I'm here for. Spread the good word of chainmail throughout the land. Also, there is a link to my store. I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories. And when you purchase something from there, it helps me continue to do this stream and fund projects and do fun stuff like that. So, Chainmail Joe's kit is the best for beginners. I like it. I wish I'd thought of it. But after I started out making my own rings, my aversion to making rings at all, much less on a mass-produced scale like they do, yeah, there's no way. I don't know if I would have ever been able to overcome this roadblock aversion I have to making my own rings, and become someone who mass produces chainmail rings for chainmail, right? So, and then there is a place to chat. I need to just stop doing what I'm doing and get on the computer and update the app, because there is a place to chat on there, but it's not very user friendly. Like if you post something and then someone responds to it, you'll never see it unless you go back there. So I'm gonna open up a Discord for that and use that instead of the native app chat room. But this is the first for you. You had no idea, but find it very interesting. It's a ton of fun. I do this all day, every day. You know, unless I got a family obligation or something. Or I have to go and like do household chores, which I have to do here soon. My goal was, and this was a dumb goal. I ordered rings for the Finnegan's Wake flag, and I needed something to do in the meantime, so I started this project for some reason, right? Then the rings for the Finnegan's Wake flag is here, and I'm still working on this. Oh, and also I've now ordered more rings for this to get this to a size I'm happy with, right? So now my goal is to finish up these rings that I have on hand, okay? And then finish the Finnegan's Wake flag before I come back and finish this one. Also, I have a saddlebag to finish in there as well. So all for no reason other than that I want to. I want to finish my basement projects. So I'm not even working on making stuff for sale, really. I'm going to try and make some bracelets in May. That's my goal. Have them ready for June. All right. Yeah, I got I've got a 2013 Road King, and one is done. It's covered in the saddlebag lid is covered in chainmail, and the other one is halfway done. I just got to finish it. But I have to stand and lace everything together, and it's a pain. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see it? Because I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you if you want to see it. Do you want to see it? I'll go get it right now. It's right over here. All right, hang on. Alright, so this is my saddlebag lid. It's got chainmail on the top and leather over the edge with a bunch of leather lacing holding it all together. All across the bottom here too. For my other viewers, this is it right here. Lacing all down the back edge, holding it all together. Excuse me. All right. How do you put a price tag on something that detailed and time intensive? I don't. I would never do it for someone else. Excuse me. I would have to... They would have to... That alone is a show winner? I hope so, because I'm doing both saddlebags, leather and chainmail gas tank bib, and I'm wrapping the toolkit, right? So once that's done, then the gas tank, the front and rear fenders, and the side panels are all going to get hydro dipped in a chainmail pattern, and that's going to be all the aesthetics of my bike. Once I'm done with that, then it's a chain conversion, add a turbo, stage for the motorcycle, which means a different cam. I'll probably keep the exhaust I have, different air filter, shave the, do something to the engine. I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. So it's going to be all chain mailed out, and it's going to be fast. One day. I think all the work I priced out on the engine to make it go fast was like 17 grand, which is as much as the bike costs. So, whatever. It's my one bike. Yeah, this is for my personal bike. So, like I said, I wouldn't do this for anyone else because I would have to destroy their saddlebags. I might offer gas tank bibs in the future. We'll see how much of a pain it is. So, but yeah, that's what I do. I unnecessarily add chainmail to stuff for no reason. Just because I can. It'll be awesome though when it's done. Talk about a billboard on wheels, yeah. That'll be nice. I'll have the bike all covered in chainmail, and then I've got it's a Harley vest, but the Harley vest is covered in chainmail. I hate this song. Give me the thumbs down button. Dislike track, go away. I've disliked that track before. I don't know why. It still plays. But yeah, so I will my motorcycle vest will match the bike in that they're both covered. They'll both be covered in chainmail. Oh, and then I want to hydro dip my half helmet too. So the hydro dipping for everything is like $1,500 to $2,000, which is nothing, right? But the real cost in both time and money is getting all those pieces off, shipped to the hydro dipper, shipped back, because you're gonna be paying for everything to come off and the storage fees, and then for everything to be put back on. So it's not something I'm trying to do this year. I'm just trying to get all the leather and chainmail done this year. And then next year, we'll do the hydro dipping. And then the year after that, start on making it faster. I have never been to New Hampshire at all, ever. I have friends in New Hampshire. Sure, they wouldn't mind a visit. But no, I don't really go out to anything really. So I'm just sitting down here opening and closing rings. I did drive from Wisconsin to Colorado 2 years ago now, 3 years. It was a while ago on the Harley. That was a good trip. Had great weather the whole time there and back. Would I be willing to show my chainmail vest? Yeah, you want to see it? Hang on. All right. Okay, so we've got the vest extenders, because I'm fat. Okay, we got the chains up the side, on both sides. See if I can show you the back. Okay, that's the back. And it's got pockets. Did I show you that? See that? Pockets. No, I've never been to Sturgis, but after I rode out to Colorado, like Sturgis is like half the distance from me that Colorado is. So it's like within reach, you know? It's like a 2-day trip for me. You want to add chainmail to your trench coat? You should do that. Almost has a snakeskin illusion. Yeah. Oh, and it's connected the same way. So all the edging is leather braiding holding the chainmail to the vest underneath. Right? It's a regular leather vest under here. How'd I do the pockets? Same way, right? It's a vest, right? And so I just trimmed around the edges of the pockets. I have to take it off to show you, but all leather braiding along the edge of the pockets. And yeah, this is Japanese 12-2. Stainless steel. 16 gauge 5/16 and 18 gauge 3/16. It took years for me to do this. Mostly because I was inexperienced at like grinding out a project. I was in school for a lot of it, and I had it done before my son was born, so mostly. I had it mostly done before my son was born. Oh, that ring is a little off round. So, but once I finished it, I'm super happy with it. And again, it's one of those things that I do these side chains for someone, and I do the vest extenders. That is one thing I need to update, right? And I just did a set of vest extenders for another guy, but these are like really flimsy leather vest extenders. I don't care for them, so I do need to make a set of those. I would love to see the dragon you finally finished. Do I have any mentors? The entire chainmail community, I would say. I don't have anyone I specifically talk to. I don't know. My buddy John, he's probably a mentor. He pushes me to excel. And I talk a lot with him about stuff. I don't know. Do you have... You can show me pictures on here. How do you do that? No, you don't do it that way. Alright, I don't like this. Yeah, hang on, let me see if I can... That... Alright, now how do I make it? There. For anyone watching on Facebook, YouTube, X, or Twitch, we've added a guest and are trying to take a look at one of their items they made. We're showing off chainmail over here. Oh, very nice. That's very cool. I have yet to make a dragon. I have one planned, but that's a long way off. Nice. Those are so cool. It's like someone, you know, sat down and came up with the formula, and people just started branching off of it and making their own. That's what I love about the chainmail community, is like most of the chainmail community is very open about what they make, and people are free to take a look at it and say, I would like to make one of those, or I would like to do something like that, but slightly different. Most, not all. Some people are very protective. Excuse me. Chaos, is that all your pictures?
Sorry, yes. Trying to keep it quiet in the background.
Do you want to pop off, or do you want to stay up here?
Yeah, those are my 3 pictures that I took of it being completed. So it definitely turned out different.
You said it definitely turned out different? How do you mean?
Yeah. Well, okay, you know how sometimes the thickness or thinness of the rings can vary slightly?
Right.
Well, that's what happened to mine, to where they were too loose, even though I used the exact same size as what was recommended. And Mother Dragons, Wayward and Whimsical.
Uh-huh.
It was actually one of her things that I shared with one of my sisters, but my sister challenged me to make it. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And that was my first one ever. So it took quite a while, because I only get a little bit at night after the girls are in bed.
Right.
And yeah, we both work and outside of the home as well, so it's only a little bit of time at night that I get, so that's why it took longer.
Sure.
for me to do that because that was a bigger project and definitely a challenge that I actually rather enjoyed.
Yeah, I used to be the same way. Just work on a little bit on my days off, and that's all I had. What's that?
She was my inspiration on that, and I messaged with her for help a little bit because I tried following the tutorial that we had both looked at before, and just for some reason something wasn't like sitting right, and then we finally figured it out.
Right.
The points that either be too tight on the weave and they won't bend, or they'll be a bit looser and then they won't sit right. So I did actually have to put a little wire in the middle of the body to help hold it up in its pose. And then of course the wings help balance it where it doesn't tip over too much.
Right.
Still pretty cool though.
Yeah, the anodization for aluminum, like, it just depends on manufacturer to manufacturer, and you can have the same ring size, same wire size, and end up with slightly different rings every time. It just is what it is. You just got some rings from a new company and size you were familiar and noticed the quality was different? Yep. Hey, Elsa, how you doing? Hayden, how you doing? Thank you for the dinos.
Yes. How you doing, Elspeth?
And that's, I mean, all of your suppliers are going to be different. Period. Right. Even the same supplier is different from batch to batch, and that's just, you know, a fact of life. You're okay? You just finished your first scale mail project? Right on, right on. God, I'm dreading dealing with my scales. I'm not looking forward to it at all. I don't want to use the split rings I got from the Ring Lord, because I don't like them. And so I'm going to order... Yeah.
About it. Yeah, normally not, because I started using them way back in 2008, and then I've still stayed with them.
You're waiting for me to go live? I've been live for like an hour now. All right, let's put this ring on.
And I'm gonna go ahead and jump down from the box. I also have to head out so I can get the girls taken care of here. And thanks for letting me come up and show you.
Well, thanks for showing me. I think it's awesome that we figured out a way to share pictures while we're live. And I do want to do a stream where it's just, you know, crafters chilling up here talking. And I guess I just learned how to do that, so I'm happy about that. So, thank you for stopping by.
Start doing that with my lives, and then it made me do like a few lives first, and then it let me invite everybody up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
You kind of miss the Ring Lord? All right.
I'm gonna head out.
Alrighty. Thanks for stopping by.
See you again.
All right. So, I think I understand what you mean by you kind of miss the Ring Lord. I get it. I do too. But I think last night I was saying that I was under the impression that they were like moving away from retail based off a gut feeling, right? But apparently they are just, it's a company that got bought out by another company, and then it got bought out by someone else, and so they are just having trouble learning how to work everything, and so that's what's leading to all these issues, which I can understand. You've been trying other major companies, which is something I love about the fact competition drives, progress. So I love that there's at least 12 chainmail manufacturers available now, whereas there was one large one before. So, am I wearing chainmail? Yeah, I got my motorcycle vest on because some viewers wanted to see it. Come on, get out of there. You out of round ring. There we go. Yeah, what was the other thing? I was showing people the saddlebag covered in chainmail, and then they wanted to see my motorcycle vest, so. You want to hop on here? I don't want to do a guest show right this moment. You thought for the longest time the only company was the Ring Lord, then you got into chainmail? Yeah. What do you call it? Let's see here. You got to get an invite, Hayden. We can just do this. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Guests. Yeah, let's see here. How do you search for someone? How did I just do this? Hang on. I'm special. Hayden, is there any reason you wouldn't be able to come up here because you were not listed as a viewer? Yeah, no. Tried your first Vipera Barrows weave. Right on. I got this. What is her freaking business name? I got the King Vipera Barrows bracelet. From Sassy Last Studio. They were down in Chicago and at the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. No, I can see that you're watching. No, not that. Trying to see what's wrong. You're not finding nothing? Well. To get Chaos up here. I just pressed guests. I don't want to co-host with other creators. And if I press your name, it doesn't give me an option to add you up here. So, I don't know. Like, I just had Chaos up here by pressing guests and getting her up here. It gave me an option to invite. You got a friend who makes his own chainmail rings, but he's also a major vendor in the Ren Fair. Yeah, if you can make your own rings, if you're vending, it's got to be a lot cheaper. I plan on being able to make my own rings, hopefully by the end of this year. Like high quality saw cut rings. You're not very good with TikTok or anything, so I don't know either. You've never had this problem? I've only ever had like 1 or 2 guests on, and it was always just push the guest button. But if you hop out and hop back in, it might give you the option. It might give me the option to invite you. Thank you for the heart, Edis. I've done that before. But where was I? Yeah, so make your own chainmail rings if you are doing chainmail on a large scale for an event. It's so much cheaper. These are high quality aircraft grade aluminum. That's good. I want to move away from aluminum myself in the future. Once I'm done with, like this is aluminum, this cube. I want my next large cube to be steel. But I really only want to work with titanium, stainless, sterling, and gold in the future. I've made stuff from sterling silver, yeah. You really thought I was doing something with a pile of snakes that you would never touch? I would never touch a pile of snakes either. But yeah, I've made lots of stuff out of sterling silver. I don't have a lot of it right now, but I have some left. That's one of the pile of rings that I bought with no plan that I've got to turn into something. But no, these are Max. These are, I'm making these rings and then weaving them together to make a large cube like this, but a cube where each ring is individually made up of smaller rings is what I'm doing. Why I'm doing it? Because I'm special. This is not a project. I didn't need a 17,000 ring project added to my list of projects. But here it is. Here I am working on it. You're out of sterling. Someone asked about sterling the other day. I'm going to get mine in the future from I want to order from urbanmail.com. You just did that with a mix of color rings with only one thing that I needed 8 rings for? Yeah. Alright. So, Hayden says he's logging out. I'm going to log back in. Hayden wants to take me turkey hunting, so I don't know how that's going to go. Okay. See if I can now. There we go. Just if I accept Yeetus, can we add?
Should be able to just click on his name. Well, there's your reasoning why he can. He only has 6 followers.
Ah. There you go.
So, to even get voice chat, you have to have 250 followers. And then to be able to have camera, you have to have inbox 800 followers.
There we go. Now we know. Mystery solved. Yeast or Hayden, you gotta do more TikToks. Get more followers.
Content. At least 3 videos a day.
I wish I was that productive.
That's what I said. I'm in an agency, so I don't know
You also did that with small scales, where you just wanted a set of earrings with 3 scales each? Yeah. You're saying that you made an order, Elsif, where you got like way too much stuff and just have extra rings lying around?
I wish. I actually have a shortage on rings right now.
Yeah. How long have you been doing this?
So I just repicked back up, but before that, about 2-3 years.
All right. Well, I've got a plethora of rings lying around after 28 years. So
See, I don't have that many,
you'll get there,
but
and then you'll have like piles of unused stuff.
yeah, I mainly messed around a lot though with like the stainless steel rings, and then this is the first time I actually messed around with aluminum, and I'm kind of in love with them right now, more for the colors than anything.
Right. Made you over 1,000 followers by posting 2 videos a month. There you go. It took me a long time to get to my first 1,000. Is that your dice bag?
That's my next one, yeah.
Nice.
Orange and then green with it, kind of like a pumpkin. This is starting of another one, but like I said, I'm out of rings right now. And here's my micro one I'm doing.
There you go. Right on.
So yeah, it's been a project.
Over order, but you needed more rings. You were running low. Preparing for
Yeah,
medieval camp. There you go.
you can send me rings, man.
If I would stop adding unnecessary projects, right? Like this cube. If I could stop doing that, then yeah, I would send other people the excess rings that I have. But like every time I turn around, most of the stuff you don't want, I'm just trying to use it up to get rid of it so that I can say it didn't go to waste.
No, so I was gonna say, Whipper was asking about the rings. If you're making, like he said, if you're making them, like, stick them on, cut your own rings.
Oh yeah, right.
He asked me to make, like, force the chat at all, or chain mail. They wanted the scale version of that for their dog.
Right.
And I was like, well, because of the dog, I don't think they want to put galvanized on their dog. So I wanted to tell how much it would be for stainless steel. Just for the rings alone, they were looking at $220.
Yeah. Can you get your other phone so many followers you have on there? Right on. Made a Byzantine Squire chain in summer in a few hours at summer camp. Very cool.
Oh yeah, I love the Bison pattern.
Yeah, it is my favorite. A lot of people don't like it because they've made so much of it and get so many customer requests for it, but like, I don't know.
See, I wanna. How do you do the double like that? How do you get it to band?
Each strand of Byzantine has rings in between them, tiny ones, holding them together.
Okay. Okay, because I have an order coming up for that. I'm gonna make him a watch band
Yeah.
with the pattern. But I was like, I gotta figure out how you. Cause I know how to make the single strand, but I was like, how do you link it? What size rings would you recommend? Because I use the 3.5 millimeter. It's
These were like the smallest rings that the Ring Lord made. John, who owned the Ring Lord, had to hand cut them with a pair of fingernail clippers. They're like 24 gauge 1/16. Right? Mandrels are $20. The only thing I've ever used for a mandrel is a piece of steel from the hardware section at a Lowe's or Home Depot. Like a little 3-foot piece of steel. I drilled a hole in mine, but to hold the wire. So I don't know, like, unless you're buying a specific mandrel that comes in a jewelry making kit, I don't see any reason why they would be $20. But I also haven't price checked them either. Oh, mandrels for a whole set of mandrels? Oh, then $20 ain't bad. That's nothing.
So what is mandrels? Like, I'm still learning terms.
So a mandrel is what you wrap the wire around to make the coil before you cut the rings.
Okay.
So it's just a steel rod.
Not like the way I did mine. I went and bought like a steel rod.
Yeah, that's a mandrel. You used it as a mandrel. That's all.
I didn't even know there was a proper term. I was like, I just use a rod to make the ring size and cut it.
Right.
And then promptly went to Harbor Freight and bought a pair of mini bolt cutters.
That's a great place to start. It's pretty much where I started. I've got... I forget what brand they are. And they're bent all to hell, too. So these are HK Porter.
Those are a good brand. I've heard of those. Yeah, I mean, if you got the money and you know you're going to be doing this a lot, just buy the decent stuff. I ain't saying, go spend $150 on a pair of bolt cutters, but, spend about $40 on a decent pair.
No. Well, I'm investing in a
It's a lot longer.
saw cutting setup before the end of the year to make my own rings. So...
Let me know if you are planning on selling those.
I'm not. Your favorite pliers came from Harbor Freight? Right on. You probably get a 1/4-inch steel rod since it's pretty standard ring. Yep. I started out with 14 gauge 3/8. So I used a 3/8 mandrel and whatever the spring back is on that for galvanized steel. I think the galvanized steel I was using was 14 gauge American wire gauge. So that does not translate down to 1/4 inch very well. It can be done, but I would definitely use like 16 gauge wire at the most, starting out. But that's just my opinion. You guys do whatever you want. Don't let me tell you what to do.
And whatever you do, do not use equal to dowel rod.
Yeah.
Because over time, that rod's going to get smaller and being compressed in.
Well, and if you use the wrong wire size and try and wrap a coil around it, you just end up tearing the rod apart. You know? Like any dowel from Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby, even Lowe's and Home Depot, the wooden dowels. Like if you get an inch thick dowel, then okay, it might withstand the pressure from coiling a 14 gauge wire, right? But if you use a 1/4 inch dowel to wrap even 16 gauge wire, right? The wire's just going to rip that apart fairly quickly. Did I also see Cody's lab video with the Walmart chain? I want to say yes. I'll tell you what I saw today. Someone posted in the large chainmail group over on Facebook. They had a ceramic jelly cube. And I don't think it's fired yet. I just saw the picture. I didn't see a video. Right? But once it's fired and all clinky and everything, that thing's going to be awesome. So, those ceramic and glass pieces, I love it. I love it when someone takes a media that is not traditionally used to make chainmail and they make chainmail out of it. I have one of those planned, hopefully this summer. I should actually start planning for that. But we'll get into more of that later. But, yeah. Yep, I don't know. I am on here to spread the good word of chainmail throughout the land so that it becomes as prolific as sewing and knitting and crochet and then people will go to my store and buy all my chainmail print apparel and accessories. You're all out? All done?
That's all I got.
How far away are you? I've got some work to be done around here. I'm only 4,000 rings in on this project, and it's a 17,000 ring project. So if you could just make your way over here and get to work, that'd be great. The payment is your success. Like the one TikTok, a jelly cube and chainmails all over your FYP. Right on. I hooked you up with chainmail? I think I remember talking to you, Ron. I'm glad my plan is working. Get them all hooked up on the dopamine of chainmail, and then they'll want to decorate their house with chainmail themed goods like me. So are you going to order more? Are you going to make more? What's the plan? You got some custom work done to do that you need more supplies for, or you're all caught up?
I'm all caught up.
Right on.
The last two, so I'm more just making my keychains and just standard bracelets and things like that. Just getting them pre-prepped for shows.
There you go. His payment will be the Jelly Cube dungeon where you make jelly cubes all day. Don't get to keep them. You just got to make them so that we can sell them. There we go.
Man, I like to learn how to make them.
It's not hard, right? It's the first layer is the same as the third layer, and the second layer is the same as the fourth, right? And the second and fourth layer are offset by one ring from the first and third. Okay? There is a diagram in the file section of the large chainmail group over on Facebook. I'm going to see if I can put that on the Mailworks app, and if not, I will try and make a tutorial for cubes on there myself. We'll see. It's not going to be tomorrow.
Is it in your profile?
No. On the the Mailworks app? Yeah, it's in the link tree in my bio. Download that. If you download that and go to the groups section, that's all the chainmail groups I'm aware of where people hang out online. And
Now, I remember you were talking about an app where you were able to make like a blueprint.
for an inlay,
I'm trying to do a small miniature flag of the engineer castle in
for an inlay?
Yeah, making it like a flag.
Right. Okay. So the program for that is called Irregular Grid Painter. And I don't know where you get it from. I used to have it on my last computer, and I don't know if modern machines run it anymore. I know some people have it and they run it through like a virtual machine or something. I don't know how they're running it, right? But Irregular Grid Painter is the program. It still exists, but it has not been updated since its inception, and it's got a lot of improvement that I would love to see in it. If I had the money, I would dump a lot of money into it and make a program similar. I need to look into that, actually. We should have a Jellycube night with a bunch of chainmail artists with competitions and whatnot. I was going to have before COVID, I was going to have a bunch of people come over and have door prizes and a bunch of spaces where you can hang out, eat, smoke, drink, and make chainmail and show off your stuff, and then have like a couple of games where, like, here is your pile of rings. Whoever assembles the most rings blindfolded into whatever weave you want wins. That was a game I wanted to play. I think I came up with a couple others, but I don't remember what they are now. But then we all got locked inside of our homes for 3 years, and I never did do that.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I'm checking out your link tree right now. Hitting up all your other social stuff.
Oh, appreciate it.
Oh, you're on there too.
Where?
I'm not gonna say the streaming platform because TikTok will flag you.
Oh, okay. I've probably already said it this evening, so...
You'll know which one it is the minute
See here. I'm on as many platforms as I can be on, streaming simultaneously to all of them. Because that's really the only way I've grown any viewership. And then I got TikTok, and 99.9% of anyone who's ever seen me on the internet comes from TikTok, so that's where I spend most of my time posting videos and making content for it. All right.
and that's what I was trying to tell. So I'm in an agency, right? For TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep throwing it out there. I was like, they need to add an art category for their studio.
Right.
Because I'm looking at the way yours is set up, and that's the way I want to set it. I want a top view. I want to show my face while I'm doing it. You know, because not everybody wants to just watch rings. You know, people actually want to interact with you.
Right. How many followers do you have?
Watch how you do it.
Oh, you said you have an agency. So you have
An agency.
you have the code to use the studio?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have that.
And see, and that's like I said, it's for what you do, it is not worth it because they do not have a category.
Right.
So like, and I mean, I use it when I game every once in a while, but I kind of left the gaming world on TikTok. I have better success with just streaming my craft.
Right. I enjoy playing video games, but I'm terrible at them, and so I just do this instead of getting mocked online at how bad at gaming I am. All right, where are we on here?
See, sorry, I'm watching your other dealio.
Oh,
It's
okay.
one bracelet. The one with the. So it's got the bison pattern, but it's got the center part where you put your like your two rings. And you have them sideways. They're rounded. No, other wrist.
This one?
Yeah. How do you, what pattern is that?
It's called Kinged Vipera Berus.
I
Alright.
feel like I just discovered something I'm gonna hate myself with.
Yeah.
That looks like a pain in the butt.
I bought this from someone. So Hayden, I don't know what to tell you, man. If you can't hit the invite button and like there's not a
Have enough followers.
yeah, there's not a way for me to invite you up here.
Actually, no, you can. I think. I don't know. I don't have powers to show you, but you definitely need to get your followers up with it.
I mean, let's see here. Cuz I can hit invite and go I can hit invite and go through the list of people that's on here, the viewers. And
It's because you're invisible. That's why you have your account set to private, Hayden.
not with that. Whenever we make videos, it says friends only can view. Oh, okay. Sugar Lover. How you doing? Something came in for Sugar Lover. You got to go to your settings to change it to public.
Did it come in? Alright, that's what I'm talking about. So, Sugar Lover, if you like the work that I do, he does the more complicated stuff that I do not do. He's got the years experience that I do, but give this man a follow.
Well, don't brag me up too much, right? Like what I'm doing here looks complicated, but this is a very simple thing, and I've just added dimensions to it. That's all. This is not
So,
difficult.
what is that box? You're doing just a box weave?
No. It's called Sandwyrm, and it's a strip of full Persian with box units around it. So the full Persian touches itself all the way around. The box only touches the full Persian. Each unit of box only touches one unit of full Persian. It doesn't touch any other box weave, right? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
So I was trying to make a dragon scale pine cone, and I remembered Sandwyrm as being somewhat rigid, but it did not. It was not as rigid as I remembered, so I played around with it, and I was like, oh, I can make a giant cube out of it. And now here I am in the midst of multiple many thousand ring projects, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to start another multi-thousand ring project. That seems like a good idea. Yeah.
Hey, Manny, Sugar wants to know if you can go into the big box so she can see.
No, I don't. How do I do that?
So there's like a little, not the globe, but
I've got hosts, guests, and show.
setting. Don't do the show.
I don't.
Remember how you do it. There we go.
This is what I'm working on. It's a 3x3 cube, and I've got the 2x2 portion done, 26 or 27 rings done, and I need 68 or 69 more. So I'm making each ring out of individual smaller rings to make this. And it's just a large, overly complicated version of this cube.
Yeah, see, I want to do the jelly cube so bad. I think it looks neat. I want to make mini versions of it.
Yeah, I'm making this one out to 20 rows, which is 44,000 rings. And then I'm stopping there, and this is just going to be like my cube for my bar. So that I can throw my rubber band ball away, because my rubber band ball is falling apart. Okay, Hayden's public now.
What's the weave on it?
Japanese 4-in-1.
Okay, I'm going to look up some videos on how to do it.
Yeah, no, go to the files section in the large chainmail group over on Facebook. And there is...
Is it on? Oh, it's under link.
there are instructions or a guide in the files section. Yeah, I did make my vest. I did the vest extenders. Come on. I did the chains up the side. I've got pockets. And then, I don't know how well you can see the back, but that's the back.
Yeah, I told you, sure. He's got more skill than I do. He's been doing it longer than me.
Hayden, I'm looking, man. You're not in the guest list. Not in the viewers section.
Like I said,
He said he changed it from private to public.
well, like I said, it's because he's got followers.
Yeah.
Not to get too it's just the way the TikTok world works.
It's weird, right? Because I could have one follower on Facebook and go live on there. Same with Instagram and YouTube. But TikTok's got a 10,000 person requirement to use your own studio or to get a key. It's like, come on. That's nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. It took me a long time to make. It's a leather Harley vest with chainmail over the top, and then there's leather braiding all around every edge. And it matches my saddlebag. My one saddlebag that I've done. I'm currently working on the other one. I've got a lot of work to do on the bike.
So, question, Hayden, how old are you?
How old is Hayden? Said he's gone turkey hunting, so... 20 years old.
20?
Man. What was I doing when I was 20? 2002. I joined the military.
And that's where it all started.
What, being 20 and joining the military? Where life began its ups and downs. Like, I thought life was hard before, and then I joined the military and found out what hard was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
He enlisted. He signed up at 17, got shipped to boot camp at 18.
Sorry, who is this?
My dad.
Okay.
Well, my adopted dad. He went in 06. Yeah, Sugar's cool. Sugar's one of my people. So do you like the necklace?
Give me a minute.
going on? I don't know how to pronounce that name.
What's your craft? I don't know either.
Sorry, I'm doing a food.
Their name is Lucky Kid Jewelry.
Okay.
Is their actual name.
Right on.
Well, he does like. Oh, bro. Mess around.
Some cool stuff.
He does the coin shaving. Like, he takes a coin and shaves the image in it.
Oh, okay. Right on.
It does rings.
I love watching that stuff.
Bro.
Like engraving and stuff.
Happening for me, bro. Yeah. I hate life after that.
How long have you been doing this?
Me?
Millie? Yeah, you.
28 years.
Dang, I was 2. Wow.
I wasn't even thought of.
Dang, we babies.
Bailey's over here like, screw you guys.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm only 26.
Oh, God. No. It'll happen to you guys, too, so I'm not worried.
You only went 1 point, bro. So are these are the rings that you're using from the Ring Lord?
Yeah. I had an inordinate...
The biggest problem that
Say again?
the ring sizes just aren't consistent.
Is that my biggest problem with the Ring Lord?
Yeah.
No.
I'm out.
Yes and no. Okay, so what happened is the Ring Lord decided to true up their ring sizes so that when you ordered a 20 gauge 1/8 ring, the diameter of the ring was 1/8, right? They removed the effect of springback. Springback is what happens when you wrap metal around a rod into a coil, right? Not all of the tension is taken out of the coil, so when you cut it, it spins back off your mandrel and creates a gap from the size of the mandrel to what the springback causes it to be, right? So the rings were always just a little bit more than an eighth of an inch, just a little bit more than a quarter inch, right? So they were always off for like 10 years, 12 years. Then they trued up their ring sizes, which good for them. I'm glad they did. That's something they should do. If it says quarter inch, it should be a quarter inch. Everybody needs to do that. And the problem was I had a bunch of projects that either the new rings were the wrong size or the rings had never been restocked in like months and or years. Now, there was a divorce. The business was handed off twice during this time. And so some of this is inevitable. And I did just hear about a customer complaint that was really bad, but then it got resolved. So my understanding... Go ahead.
I want to order from them, but because they have colors that Chainmail Joe doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
And I want different colors.
If you want different colors, like I would start with We've Got Mail. I know a lot of people get their rings from them. They have a good color selection. Try Metal Designs. Same thing. Chain Reaction Canada has some different colors. And that's the beauty of having multiple suppliers now is we get this plethora of colors. All right, when you were 6, you posted 20 videos a day, had 30,000 followers. You woke up one morning and your account was deleted. When you were 6? I thought you said you were 20. TikTok wasn't even around when you were 6, Hayden. What is going on?
That's why I was asking. No offense, Hayden, but I went and watched one of your videos. You sound like you're 10.
Oh, is that the issue? Interesting. Hayden, are you a minor? If you're a minor, you need to go.
That's about his age.
Alright, so, where are we at here? Doing good, getting a lot of work done. I made 5, 6.5 rings today. My quota, I am 3.5 rings short of my quota. Okay.
Yo, Sugar, go check out that account for me. And tell me what you think. But I'll be perfectly honest, Hayden, I don't think you're old enough.
Yeah. You tell everybody 20 because everybody blocks me when you tell them your real age? Okay.
This
Sorry, buddy.
is designed for 18 and older.
Actually, you wanna know how to begin? What was TikTok called before it's called TikTok? Only real OGs will know that.
I mean, I remember Vines.
I mean, that was the only one I could think of.
It was called TikTok.
I mean, I don't remember what it was called. I just remember Vines. Because
I
that
remember
was
what it was
before
called.
TikTok and short videos were Vines. That was the big thing. Like, I was around when Facebook became big, too. My parents had MySpace.
So Hayden,
Wait. Did you say your parents had MySpace? Oh my god. I'm older than MySpace. By a lot.
My mom's 40.
yeah, Hayden, you're younger than you're saying. You
Yeah.
don't know what it was called before it was called TikTok.
It's time for my bedtime. I know.
No, dude, don't.
It was called Musically.
Alright.
Yeah, but Hayden will come and
Oh, I thought she was talking to me. But yeah, no. I was already taking souls by the time MySpace came around, man.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, my mom's 40 and my biological dad just turned 50.
Alright. Do I have enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
My sister just turned 20.
19. Yeah, we were post-war when MySpace was big. Alright, actually, what time is it? 9:56. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Let me finish this off here.
I don't know what time it is your time, but
It's 9:56 my time.
It's 11 o'clock my time.
There you go.
so you're central.
All right. Whale.
Thank you, honey.
Let's see here.
Renee said you don't have to get off.
Thank you, honey.
She was talking to Hayden.
I can be go to bed. It's half past.
Yeah, no, I do have to shut down at 10. So, like, I'm 8. Well, the last 2 nights I started at 8 because I was sitting here and I was bored and I didn't know what to do.
You have a good night.
So, have a good one. Oh, sorry.
I went to Wendy's.
I worked at Wendy's once too.
That was my first job. Never again.
That was my favorite job. Of all the jobs I ever had, Wendy's was great. I had a really, really good boss, though.
I disliked working at Wendy's. I disliked working at fast food in general.
Yeah, you stink all the time.
I like working at IHOP, but you don't hear me complaining.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Pull up my messages.
Yeah, I don't know how 9-year-olds are allowed to post, Hayden. Sorry. I don't know what that relationship with their parents is like.
You just need to leave this live. I'll just say I'll be nice. You just need to
Right?
go to bed, go get some education, because that's what you kids nowadays need.
Education? I thought it was called education.
Education. No, education. You want to speak a little bit ill-village over here.
Alright, that's 21. These over here. Alright, guys. Can I foist the role of host onto you? Is that possible?
So, we're just guests in your lives. So you are the host. So as soon as you hop off, we'll be disconnected,
Okay.
which is fine.
Yeah.
Because as soon as this one gets home, we're gonna be gaming tonight. So
Okay. Alright, well, I'm going to shut this down because it is 10 o'clock.
platforms. So
Where are we at here?
I'll be home in about 10 minutes, so you can call me if you want.
but do appreciate letting me jump in the box.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
At some point, we can talk about some patterns. And oh my God, what is that?
It's my logo. It needs some adjustment, but
Got really happy.
that's pretty much what it's like. If you look up there and see my logo, this is it in a ringception form. It's not going to bed. This is going hunting at midnight. Right. Okay.
Now let him go to bed.
All right. He may not go to bed, but I'm going to go to bed. So,
Let you know when I get some more rings.
Oh, my boyfriend's calling me. I'll talk to y'all later.
have a good one.
I need to go order some rings.
See you guys.
All right, man. For everyone watching, if you like what you see, you can go to my link tree. If you want to make chainmail, you can go to the link tree in my bio and download the Mailworks app. It's got a lot of resources in there that I wish I would have had when I first started doing this a long time ago. If you like seeing me stream and the stuff that I make, and you want to help me make more of it, please go to my website, which is mailworks.com. I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories, and it's how I make my money. So buy stuff, and I will make stuff. What else? I've got a lot of updates I need to add to the Mailworks app, but what's on there is good to get started with right now. Got plenty of projects to work on right now. Got lots of rings in stock to work on the projects that I have right now. So it's going to be a lot of large meta jelly cube projects. It's going to be a lot of Finnegan's Wake, a lot of saddlebag stuff for the next couple weeks until we get all those big projects done. So I appreciate everyone hanging out. I do have to go to bed. Well, I've got to go get some stuff done before I go to bed. Make sure house is locked tight and everyone's tucked in. So you all have a wonderful evening. Thanks for hanging out. Please don't forget to follow me on all the social medias listed in my link tree. I would greatly appreciate it. You all have a wonderful evening. I will talk to you all later.